Justin Williams, I mean, his playoff exploits are well documented. He's got 3 Stanley Cups. I believe that was his 4th 2-goal game of his playoffs career. I mean, that guy comes up huge on the biggest stages, and just lucky he potted 2 goals and got it back to even.
Shows you the depth of the team, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first line that was scoring. You got a game winner from the 4th line.
Yeah, it was very, very, I think very encouraging. You go down to zip, which you never want to do, but you show the resilience to tie it up and have the poise to pull out the victory. So there you go. You're off and running. You got your little scare out of the way. Have a much, much better first 30 minutes.
I probably watched 90 to 95% of the Caps regular season games this year. That was as poor as I've seen them play all season.
That's the first thing Trotz said when he got to the podium.
Play worse than that.
He talked about how the first 30 minutes was.
Yeah.
They had a lot of turnovers. Yeah. I think at the end of the game, they maybe had 17 giveaways.
Right.
It's not good, so you're kind of sloppy, but you do get the win. I wouldn't count out a sweep or 5-game series, but it's going to be battle.
I've softened my stance on that. I was resolute in that. This is a 5-game series tops. The Maple Leafs are a mere speed bump. If they can bolster their defense over the next few years, that's a team that you aren't going to want any part of.
And so far in the playoffs, I believe a lot of road teams are winning.
Yep.
The Blackhawks are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They lost their first game 1-0.
Yeah, the Preds went in.
So these are not gimmies.
No, certainly not.
I will say this: while I didn't panic, and I was a second away from starting to panic.
Right.
Okay. I had started, but I wasn't there yet.
It's always good to have reserve panic, EB.
Yeah.
I've got plenty. I've got 8 tanks over here.
I did allow myself to think before we had the 2-man advantage, and they're skating around or down 2-0. I did allow myself to think for a second: what if, God forbid, they lost this series?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I might have to quit because it will be unbearable. All people will talk about is the curse. All they'll talk about is the same old Caps. And I hate those narratives like you wouldn't believe.
It lasts for a day.
Well, it's true. It's not like the Redskins, but it would. I think it would have lasted a little more. And it just every time you bring up the Caps, the exhaustion level, right, of fans. Everyone would lose faith if they had to. And look, they haven't won the series; they're up 1-0.
Right.
But I will say, if they lose this series, I think you're going to be. I think you're going to lose cavalcades of fans. Just tons of them.
Well, statistically, they dominate this team. Cakes talks about the difference in goals. I heard something last night too, just when experts were talking about the team. Basically, they regard Toronto's defense as horrible.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Didn't look like it yesterday.
They lost their top defenseman heading into the series. So you just figured, the Caps could score 5 or 6 goals in this team.
Yeah.
No, their defense looked rock solid, and
they forgot to tell the goalie.
And their goalie had 40-plus saves. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they killed it on the defensive end. They just weren't able to score as many as the Caps
hopefully
did.
they peaked in game 1. Maybe they surprised them with their game plan.
I hope that's the case.
And the Caps overcame it without getting goals from Backstrom
right.
or Ovi or Oshie.
Mm-hmm.
That's always huge. It's always huge. I was surprised. Can you keep playing to get that Stanley stuff? That I get sized. It turns me on. I was impressed, and didn't realize that Locker kept calling their coach, whatever his name is,
Mike Babcock,
kept saying he was like the best X's and O's coach in hockey. Did you hear him say that?
I did, yes.
I had no
Been
idea.
around forever, right?
I believe he won at least 1 Stanley Cup with the Red Wings during their run. Might have multiple. I'd have to double-check that.
But I think we really have to get that Stanley going during the games. I know I got it in a few times. People seem to respond to that. I think it's something, Cakes, to consider. Get that hashtag, get that Stanley going.
That. I'll put it on all my Caps-related wackies during the Stanley Cup playoffs.
What did you go with after the game? I didn't stick around to see your social media post-game.
I went with a girls' Caps beanie. And I just kind of had a smirk on my face because it reflected my overall take on the game.
Were you ambivalent about the game?
I was kind of like, stole that one type of deal. There it is up on CSN Mid-Atlantic.
That doesn't really look like a victory pose.
Like, look, we won the game, but we kind of escaped with victory.
So you didn't feel pumped when they won?
Oh, I was pumped, but my overall takeaway was good to have the win, but not the best performance.
So the game watched in the bedroom again.
Of course I do. Why would I I break with tradition,
Were
JP.
both kids and both animals in the room at the time?
The animals. My daughter was watching. My son Brendan.
Brendan kind of does his own thing.
He kind of does his own thing. Like, yeah,
because he's a smart kid.
Yeah,
He's like, why am I watching in my dad's bedroom?
I was like, do you want to come watch the Caps game with us? He's like, no. I'm going to be on YouTube. I'm on my computer.
All right, so Brendan's YouTubing, but Juliet's there. Amy's there. They're in the bed, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So when the game finishes, what's the breakdown? Does Juliet immediately go to her room and say goodnight?
She starts brushing her teeth.
Okay.
And basically hops into bed. And then I take the world's worst selfie with the biggest bags under my eyes ever. And then I go to bed.